Hi everyone. So I wanted to make a video today speaking about Xylanthia and the experience that I had while I was back on Xylanthia. For those who may not remember what Xylanthia is a realm of darkness, and in the words of Rashad Jamal, it's essentially headquarters for all of the nine ether beings. So, how did I get there? What happened? This happened in 2023 during, it was either the very end of July or the very beginning of August. I just know it was within that little time window. I was supposed to go on a trip to India to do a yoga course, and that didn't work out. I will be making a video in the future on that because it does involve the dream world, astral projection, manipulation of my chakras, and consciousness. But after I came back from the airport and wasn't able to make the flight, had a heated conversation with my mom and went for rest that night. And it was over the course of this week of when this happened that I was processing through the grief of me not being able to go, of me desperately trying to take a step forward in my life, finding something that I wanted to do and then working towards that goal, and it just not panning out. I was sad, I was angry, I was frustrated, a bunch of other feelings, and I was just processing through all of it. And at some point during this week, I came to the conclusion that I just had to let it go, that I was not there. What happened happened, and I do have the opportunity to go another time after I get the documents that I needed to get. So during this week, I came to that conclusion and I released that grief from me as best as I could. The result of that was I went for rest one night in my bed, and all of a sudden I'm surrounded by darkness, and I'm in a circle surrounded by these beings who are goddesses, and they have on these cloaks, these dark colored cloaks. But I didn't feel I was in any danger. To be quite honest with you, it was the safest place that I have been in my life, here or in the astrals, in the dream world. I just knew I wasn't in any danger, and had anything happen, these people that are around me, these goddesses, would have protected me. And I was able to see through, because I had a cloak on as well, and being able to peek through, looking up, looking on the left side of me, I could see that these goddesses, if they were to descend down from the higher dimension into this physical that I am in, their skin tones would range from mine to a little darker, to a little lighter, to a goldish copper skin tone, and some had a little bit of a red tint in their face. And the darkness that surrounded me, it wasn't thick, it wasn't thin, it just was. And I was able to feel it, and it felt peaceful. I felt peace just vibrating through my entire body. And since being here in this physical, I have had 1,000,001 questions ever since I was a baby to being a kid, young adult. And I'm sure I'm going to have questions tomorrow, you know? But when I was there, I felt this, I'm going to say lid or cap that I believe is over a part of my junk DNA was lifted. And every question that I ever have had and that I currently had in that moment was answered. I knew so much information that I can't even put into words, because some of the knowledge that I received was energetic knowledge. How can I better describe this? Well, when we were communicating with one another, the times that I've been in the dream world, in the astral world, it has been through telepathy. I am not verbally communicating, but I am still using words. While I was on Xylanthia, we were having a full-blown, energetic, vibration conversation. There was no words whatsoever, but it was a sensation and a vibration being sent from one part of the body to the other, hitting one person's mind, receiving it, and then putting out a different one, or resending that same one to somebody else who was in that space. It was really fascinating and amazing, and it may sound like, oh, that took work, but there was no work at all. It was natural. And there was so much ease. There was so much ease in just feeling understood and 100% understanding what this other person was communicating. And I can't break down what that was in words because there were no words. I have full confidence that, you know, if you are coming across this video and you are a 9th ether being, one, you have been back on Xylanthia and you either remember it and you get what I'm saying, or two, you've been back and you don't remember, but there's going to come a point in this energy cycle that we are in, I believe in this year, where you are going to remember, and it will 100% make sense, I promise you. What else happened? I have some notes right here. So we then started wielding this magic. Magic is real. It is, here as well as up there, but that was the first time that I remember ever tapping into and experiencing something like that. So here's what happened. If you take the image of the Ancient One from the Marvel films and how she was wielding all this magic with Doctor Strange, these circular, what I'm going to refer to as orbs with these symbols started appearing on my left hand and my right hand, and they were green. And we were just, then it started appearing in the other goddesses' palms in the circle, and we just started sending it in a circle, and I felt my heart chakra, I can't say grow, but I felt it, and I felt all this love pouring into this part of my body. We also, I remember, we started creating a bunch of stuff out of nothing, from the void of this darkness. We were able to create anything, and we created a lot, but I do not remember, and I didn't write down when I came to my body, back to my body after this experience, all of the things that we were creating. But I remember the feeling that, wow, this is happening, and I'm now creating this, and they're creating that, and it was this wave and flow of communication and collaboration and unity. And it was, again, I would say, the most natural experience that I have had. It just felt natural. It felt right. And there was this sense of unity, of oneness, that there isn't an other. I felt one with all of them, and I felt one with those who have a soul. I feel I'm not somewhat capturing the fullness of that while I was there, because it was so heightened. You know, it's one thing to say it, I felt this unity and I felt one, but I mean, really, y'all, it was the energy that I was able to experience, I mean, cosmic, in regards to this universal oneness. So that was coming out of the experience, and yeah, I mean, the deeper you go, the more you'll see. Ask, and you shall receive. I think a part of the reason as to why I experienced that was because of me releasing all of that grief through me not being able to take this trip. And for whatever the reason, I was able to remember it when I came back to my body. I suspect, since what has been happening since 2021, all of us rising in vibration, that this has been happening each time I've, you know, been rising and reaching a different chakra, and I guess it was just time for me to see and experience what that was like with being at the heart chakra, you know? So I'm sure going forward, all of us are going to, or some, I do believe all, will experience this with the other chakras, but it's just a matter of remembering if the third eye is either A, unblocked, or B, completely unlocked. And mine isn't unlocked yet, but there's gonna come a point, I feel, in this year, before the fall, where our third eyes are unlocked and we're gonna be able to see and experience a lot more here, as well as the world within our world. So that was my experience on Xylanthia. It was the most peaceful place I have ever been in my entire life. I felt so much love from every single being there. I didn't feel confused and I didn't feel afraid. I felt one with all of them, as well as with the darkness that surrounded me. It didn't feel, as I said earlier, light or heavy. It just was. And I am everything, everything is me. I felt complete. A part of me that has just felt so incomplete here, I was able to access that in this experience. So I hope your experience in remembering Xylanthia when you journey to headquarters and you're able to remember, I hope that first experience you have in remembering is just as peaceful, just as loving and harmonious as mine was. I'm going to close this video out by saying I send peace, courage, protection, and divine cosmic love to every single 93rd being who's on their journey of remembering their divinity and remembering who they are. Peace.